welcome to Silverrun Forest Farm, and we are back here in the second half of February, and Jake's just busy cleaning up a little bit of the mess that he made this morning. With the snow coming, he was trying to get the animals fed and a couple of tidying up jobs done, and he made a little bit of a sleepwalking error in terms of the food mix. He was trying to add straw to the cow pen because it was getting a bit low, and so without thinking he just threw it in the mixer here, thinking that it could be chopped and added straight away. But the problem was there was a little bit of TMR left in the bottom, and the consequence of that was that the mixer processed the bale and turned it into forage, and he couldn't then balance the mix, so he had to dump a whole lot on the ground. So where we are now is we've got forage in there, and we're going to need to add some more silage to see if we can now turn this mix back into TMR. So he's gotten one load out already. There we go. There is some silage on the ground here that he's cut open a bale some time ago, so this is a good opportunity to tidy that mess up as well. He's already got a worker down on the sawmill fields, and so that's almost finished ploughing. That's looking promising. Changed colour, so that's a chance. Is there any more over there? I might just see if we can pick up that silage from the other side. And there's quite a large pile there. So that'll be one field that's ploughed and prepped. He's pretty much pulled and stacked all the timber off the... What are we doing here? Off Eddy's field. Nope, almost got it. Just see if we can tilt that just a little bit more. Got most of it, I think. He loaded the bales up. He forgot to sell the straw bales at the top. The straw price isn't too bad, but there's no need to keep those hanging around, so we'll run down quickly and sell those. He's pulled in and tidied up quite a lot down at Eddy's, so the Eddy's field is pretty much ready for the plough now. There are stumps, but it might be a matter of it's just as easy to get the plough going and deal with the stumps as we find them. All of the, or just about all of the timber is at least moved off the field to allow to plough it. So he's mapped out a route for his tractor driver. So you can see over there, there's not a lot left sitting in the field, so we can move the plough across and get that one underway. And he's also been doing a little bit of work down at the down over in the area where the sugar beet is, and he's got a bit of a plan coming together in his mind. Might actually go for 2 fields over there. So let's sell these. What do we get for the straw? Just over 10,000. So that's pretty handy. So with everything that's been sort of going on, the purchase of the little BGA facility, you know, the situation with its capacity, kind of thinking, well, maybe that we'll increase the amount of sugar beet, but we won't necessarily go crazy. And we actually got a call. I think Eddy's had been talking to Agco when they bought the header for the Gleaner. Anyway, Agco, as it turns out, is bringing in an Italian harvester that's for working hillsides, and there's none, as far as you can tell, in this area. And so Agco's pretty keen, if Jake's interested, to give him the use of one in the harvest season. He'd have to pay the leasing costs on it. But it's supposed to be able to work in terrain not a million miles from what we've got here. So with that in mind, he's thinking, well, maybe 2 fields on the back of that hillside might be the way to go. We've already got the cornfield up there. We could just as easily, instead of putting corn back in it, put soybeans. And plant another soybean field just alongside it, and try the experiment with this this new harvester. So just have to wait and see how it goes. Now let's head on to the field here. Unload, and it looks a little bit better than the last time now that we've ploughed it out. So let's take some soil tests and see if we can find out what's going on in this field. I missed a bit there. Might as well go for the best coverage we can. Let's grab that bit there. Oops, did it again. Just got to keep that circle covering the ground. Just a little bit closer to the corner. And make it get right into the corner there. It's pretty close. But yeah, we can't realistically do much more ploughing until this snow clears. Hopefully the finer weather. We've been watching the forecast all day, so we're still sitting below freezing. But over the next couple of hours, it's supposed to put another 10 Fahrenheit on, so it should help. The snow's not thick. There was snow, as you said, there's no snow on the ground when he started the day, so it's only what's fallen in the last 3 or 4 hours. It's got to melt, so hopefully that will disappear. The other thing that he needs to take care of, get some fertilizer on the barley. That's we'll need a kick along for spring. So add that to the chore list. Can probably take care of that as we get into the feeding and planting over the next couple of months. Particularly as the field prep seems to be going reasonably well. Or field creation, I guess, rather than prep. So there we go. So let's find out how we've done in terms of soil. Let's send those. We need to send them away. Take the samples. Y sends them for analysis. We can fold you up for the moment. $1,400 the lab says. Let's have a look here. So if we have a look at our field map, there we go, and we've done pretty well. So got a nice, about half the field's sandy loam, and the other half's loamy sand. So not awful, and so we'll be able to deal with that. But yeah, what he was talking about was this area over here. He's kind of thinking. He's dropped a whole bunch of trees in this area. That's a symbol there's for the, that's where he's currently got the yarder set. But he's dropped a whole bunch of trees in here. So he's thinking, you know, if he expands that out to be for the sugar beet, then the question is this harvester that he's borrowed, could we do soybeans here and here? So that's the thought process, and we'll just have to see how it goes. He's also mapped out a field boundary over here, so we just need to get the ploughing going. And in fact, what we'll do, we'll just park over at the riding school, and we can run the plough across to Eddy's field. Then any luck, the late snow or this extra dump of snow will kick the firewood business along a little bit, but it's not been doing too badly. Every now and again he's taken the offcuts in the little trailer across there, so that's kind of how it's worked out. Now we're just going to have to wait, I think, for the snow to clear. But the edge of the field's around here somewhere. Let's go and get the equipment out of the way. And we can move the truck. There is one pile of logs just on the field on the other side. Hardly a pile, it's just half a dozen or so. We clear those away from the edge and the road. That'll make sure we don't create any problems for anyone. Can always guarantee we'll pick one up. There we go. A couple more than half a dozen, I guess. How many of these can we pick up without a problem? Let's just back out of there and move the truck. That's pretty much got those in there, so bring the truck round to the loading area we've created at the front. We can sort these out in due course, but for now we're really waiting for the snow to clear. So there's not much we can do here. It's even a bit hard to find the stumps that we need to deal with, so we might just head across to the new area that we're creating. We need the truck with the winch. Because he's been using his imagination again, has young Jake, and take a little bit of inspiration actually from what he did last season up in the meadow, and he's got a bit of an idea, which is looks like it's coming together quite nicely. So let's scooch around there and see how that's coming together. Just got to sort of cut through the part of this area that we don't own. We've got a fair old footprint on the map in this central section now. And the land that we don't own is probably the hardest to work, so probably not really planning to do anything with this area just here that we're driving through right at the minute. And this is the harvester that Agco are keen for him to have a look at. So it's the Leverda, and it's got some really neat features with this articulated rear section and a self-leveling capability. So it's not a horrible price. Fair bit of horsepower. So comes in different flavors. So definitely worth a bit of a look. 8,500. So could complement the Gleaner quite nicely. We'll use the Gleaner on the flat ground and use this on our hillside plots. So we'll just see how we go for least price on that when the time comes. So our cornfield is just up here on the left, and whilst the Gleaner did really well on that, it really was confined to working across the slope, and Jake had a couple of hairy moments, just a little bit steep. Now we haven't done any work to make that any bigger. We definitely could expand it down here to the corner and up there at the top, but you can see what he's been up to in front. He's been dropping the trees on this section here, hasn't processed anything yet, just left them where they fell. But down the bottom here, you can just see in the background there is built a bit of a platform to had a couple of motives to sort of shore up the bank of the river there and provide a work area. But also, if we run down here and have a look, this thing is, as he clears and pulls these down, and he winches them down, he can set the trees and stack them here, and then we can move them at our leisure. So really the priority can be on just getting some clear land for a field. You know, we don't need the money from the trees for the moment, and the mill's actually just the old sawmills just are about the same distance past the bridge, so will be nice and convenient, and a good spot to just get them out of the way and off this hillside. So that's the plan. The only thing required to put it into action is for the snow to clear a bit. Well, let's grab the truck with the winch and see if we can pull a few of these into a stack out of the way. So you can see here he's sort of just been chipping away, so to speak. Just sort of opening up. You can see the area is cleared up to the top, so that'll substantially increase and bring all together the area for the sugar beet. Not sure how much more of the trees on the hillside to take. He doesn't want to create a too much of an erosion issue, but you can get all the way to the top of the hill now, so that'll work pretty well. We haven't been up here for a while, but the trees that we planted in the meadow there look pretty good. I'm just thinking about it, with all those trees over the track at the bottom, you'd be better off going around and coming in the low road. So the question is, can we get down there? Yeah, looks like he left this road pretty clear. That rail spur's not used very often. Paper mill seems to have been really quiet. That's that building over there. It's still smoking out the stacks, but not a lot happening, I don't think. But you can get a bit of a sense of this platform is built along the edge here. Come up pretty well. I was quite happy with that. Let's just turn around here. Let's see if we can run a couple of trees off that hillside. I reckon if we grab the ones at the back, we might be able to pull the ones at the front towards us. There's a fair bit of pulling capacity in the winch. Let's try something like this guy. Get out of the way, safe distance back. Thank goodness for remote control. It's on winches. Let's pull it in. Okay, I'll do it. It's moving. Something's moving. Thankfully it's not the truck. Under a bit of load there now. It is the truck. At least the snow appears to have cleared. So we're going to need an anchor. Or we're going to need to pick some lighter trees that seems to be getting stuck. Might have to think about that one a bit more. Let's detach you. And we'll give that some thought. Let's head back and get that plow going. That's a bit better. We can see what we're doing here now. So what we want to be doing is on Eddy's field down here. Just plow it out. We'll do fine. 1 tool, 5 headlands. We will start in the center, I think. Sharp corners. Let's see what that looks like. That looks pretty good. I don't think we'll get too much difference by changing the angle, so we'll get out of there and start that job. I'll let you go and figure out where you're starting. Did we we'll just watch him to make sure he's going to create fields for us. That's the main thing. There we go. So we'll let this guy go, or lady, young lady it is. Take care of that for the moment. So if we just back up here or drive forward just a little bit and change the angle, see if that makes a difference. We pull you down first. Let's see if this works a little bit better. That's a bit more successful. And there we go, just slide them down off the hillside. So it won't be a fast process, but we should be able to get them done. Hooked on a tree. There we go, down another one goes. Until it gets stuck on a stump. That's cleared out most of the bottom half of the hillside. So we can set to processing those and stacking them. Meanwhile, we need to go back and check on our ploughman. Looks like he got stuck. There we go. So now while we're keeping up with this, might be a good idea to see if we can find a couple of the stumps that'll get in the way. We know the area that he's working, so we should be able to stay ahead. Let's see if we can... oh, there's one right there. It's found from doing this a little bit. It pays to take care of it when you hit it. Looks like our plough is bumping over something at the minute. Let's have a look here. Oh, there's a little log there. We can move that too. Might be just as easy to bump. Oh, didn't get it. Go because you like. Let's see here, coming back towards us. Take the next row off to the right. Looks like one there. You can just see the freshly cut ends of the stump sometimes. We get him? Yep. We'll just do a few laps here ahead of Jake, and we'll check back in with you when Jake and his friend in the plow tractor is a little bit further through the field. There's that one over there. Jake's about halfway through the field and things are going pretty well. Looks like we've got a little offcut here that we can grab. Where did you go? The only trouble, you get out of the cab. There it is. That one's only 60 kilos. I think there's a pile over here beside the side of the track. So the other leftover job from last time was the corn, and we haven't checked that today, but the corn price has stayed down, so we're not going to be selling the rest of the corn until we get back up towards the 900 mark. It did drop further towards the end of the last day, so it was a reasonable decision to hang on to it, and we'll see what happens in June. But for now, we're closing in on completing the task of getting these cleared away. Looks like there's another one there in front of us. Oh, we just drove past one. There it is. Got that one. If the player hasn't got hung up, so that's a reasonable sign that we're getting them, and I can't see any left in the middle of our field over there, so there is a little bit of a tree that we need to, and he's picked up and dragged along, so we'll go and deal with that. Pretty good. We got up to somewhere around about here, I think, in our back and forth. Oh. One more there. And I'm thinking that might be just about it for the stumps. I'm sure we've missed a couple, which will be revealed in due course when the plough finds them. There's another tree there. But for now, that's been fairly efficient. We got in this little triangle here, just at the end of the field. Looking pretty good. There's a tree of sorts there. So in terms of where Jake and Paige were aiming to get to for the end of February is pretty much on track. Would have liked to have had this field completed, and it's going to go pretty close by the end of the day. Let's just turn off here. There's still enough time to plough out the fields up where we're going to put the sugar beet. So there's only a few more trees to remove from there. And by next time we'll be able to sample this field. We can see from the one that we did today that it's going to need a little bit of lime. It's not in awful shape, but it will need a little bit of lime, so we can run the lime over it. And then, of course, it's going to need a little bit of fertilizer depending what we put into it. But generally speaking, we'll be able to start planning out these couple of fields next time with the crops that we choose. So we'll just we will put some more sugar beet down by the in that little field down by the water. That worked quite well for us. And probably some soybeans in the fields we're creating up on the hill. But for now, that's probably where we're going to leave it. We'll watch the plough working over there somewhere. I can't quite see it in the distance, just out of our eye line by the looks. But until next time, hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See ya.